the idea of going to the moon is easy. Going to the moon is hard.
So you've got this idea for an app and you think that it's going to be the next big thing if only you can get it built. Well, today in this video I want to share a little bit of another perspective on, as my experience with business grows, kind of the fuller picture of what you need to actually have an app idea work. Alright, so I'm no Mark Zuckerberg, I'm no creator of Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. But what I do know is that if you just build an app and then publish it on the iOS and Android stores, it's really like barely different than a website. In fact, it's worse than a website because you don't even really control the app page. That's vetted by places like, Apple controls the App Store and Google controls the Google Play Store. So they're allowing you to list your app on their services. So if you had this idea for an app and you were able to perfectly execute it and then publish it, all you would really have is essentially a worse version of a website because you have less control over it. However, if you happen to be a marketing genius, or you're maybe a YouTuber, or a YouTuber, or something, you have some way of getting people to use your app, and then your app is actually good enough, like the idea itself is good enough to where people will come back and use it recurringly, then you might have something. Then you have a little bit more than just a worse version of a web page. But ideas themselves, they're not sufficient. Take this clip of Elon Musk.
It's very hard to make something real. I think, in my view, prototypes are trivial and production is hard.
Yeah.
And there's the general, generally people think it's the prototype that is the hard thing. Prototypes are, well, I mean, obviously you're going to have that 1% of inspiration, but as the saying goes, it's 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Yeah.
Ideas are plentiful. Actually getting it done is very hard. You could say, for example, what about the idea of going to the moon is easy. Going to the moon is hard.
So as you can see, ideas are really cheap. Like, okay, I have an idea. Let's make another version of TikTok. I can split the market in half if my marketing is good enough. Maybe even take the market for posting fun, repeatable videos. I guess TikTok is kind of replacing what Vine used to be. But really, there's so much more to an app than just the technical execution. Now, don't get me wrong, building apps is hard in and of itself, which kind of makes this whole process of creating an app startup even less appealing, is that, well, just the idea isn't enough. And if you can build the idea, that also isn't enough. You also need to market it, and the idea itself must have user retention built into it. So if you've ever heard the phrase build it and they will come, that's not really true anymore. That might have been true when there were only, like less than 100 apps on the App Store way back when the iPhone was first introduced. It may have been true then, but it's not really a new platform anymore. So there's way too many apps for just the idea and the execution to be enough. Now, app development is still a really useful skill. Like, people are using their phones all the time. The world needs talented app developers to make these slick apps that are easy to use and that people use every single day for messaging, for consuming content, watching videos, reading books, whatever it may be. People need these apps, and so app development is still an incredibly valuable skill. So if you're interested in learning how to code apps, I'm not discouraging you from doing that. I'm just trying to bring awareness to, if you have an idea that is not sufficient, you have to realize that you're building a company here. You're building an entire system that needs to work together. So if you want to learn app development and market your skills as maybe a freelancer or something like that, or just get a job at a company who has all these other departments figured out, then that's totally fine. But here I'm just bringing awareness to, if you have an idea, it's not sufficient. Now, if you want some ideas about how to market your app idea, I've got another video called App Marketing 101 you should check out. That's a good starting place if you want to start covering these different areas of, how to get people to use your app. How do you bring people to your app page and download it? So that's it for this short video, just some thoughts on app ideas and their sufficiency. Hope you liked it. Leave a like, drop a comment down below your thoughts. A bit of a different type of video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.